Hi,
Hello?
hello. Is this Brandon?
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon. This is Tommy Bryson. This call is gonna be recorded and potentially uploaded. How can I help you?
Really good. How you doing?
Doing good, bro. How can I help?
I really just had questions on running an LLC and
I can't hear you.
how to do it. I really just had questions on running an LLC and obtaining a loan and whatnot. And I was wondering if you could help me with those.
Okay, so you wanna open up an LLC and you want to obtain a loan. So let's talk about the loan first. Why do you want to borrow money for this business?
Well, my business is buying and selling cars, and if I got a loan, it would help with getting a shop and getting a trailer and whatnot.
Okay, how much is a trailer?
I can get one for around 2,000.
Okay, how much is a shop?
A shop. Ooh, it depends on the size and
You're gonna be
area.
renting, right? And you're pretty small right now, so something just chill.
Yeah, something chill, something small.
How much?
Uh, Probably around 1,500 a month.
All right. So look, you gotta be able. If I was like a lone person at a bank and I heard your answers, I probably will not lend you money. Right? You gotta have these numbers in mind fully. Now that doesn't matter honestly, because I'm not gonna recommend you actually go out there and borrow money to kind of really start up your business. What I'll recommend is basically, if you are flipping cars left and right, and that's what you actually do, basically just get a lot better at marketing. That's all you really need to do, and get a lot better at negotiations and so on. And then as you kind of build up the side income and so on, eventually you start to buy your trailer and so on, right? Step by step. And then once you can't fit all those cars in one space or whatever, you want to be more official, then you can actually just rent out a stuff. I mean, a little place to put the cars, right? But it doesn't make sense to go ahead right now and borrow a bunch of money. The big con is basically, if you borrow this money and then things don't go your way, what are you supposed to do? You still owe all this money.
True.
You just added extra problems to your business where you can just basically operate it right now yourself. Now, what are your sales currently? What are your profits, net profits per month doing this business?
Well, it depends on what type of car you get into because, see, right now I live in Florida, and in the county that I'm in, we're very heavy on a lot of racing cars. So it's if you say if I was to go out and buy a '94 Integra or Acura, it would come up on a good under $10,000 off of just that.
Okay. So here's the thing,
last
right?
month,
You have different
mm,
targets of a market. You have, for example, the people that are trying to buy the racing cars. You have the mom that's just trying to buy a car. And then you have the random little kid that's just buying his little first car. And he just basically cares about how do the rims look. Is it, for example, it looks white, it's black inside. It looks so cool, mom. Can you buy me this car? There are a lot of aspects to the car market, no matter where you are, whether you're in Florida or in New York, whatever it is. So it's very important you pick your niche correctly. Some niches are going to require more capital, and then some niches are not going to require more capital. Because if you can buy, for example, a car cheaper and then sell it, for example, to a mom or a guy just trying to get a car, then you can do that also and also make a profit, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so my point is, don't just limit yourself to this aspect to say, well, people in my area are just into this type of car, because people in your area aren't just into that stuff, because there's a lot of people in your area that are into a lot of different cars. There's a lot of different cars in your area, correct?
right.
Yeah. So don't just limit yourself. What you're into is just flipping things. If you want to niche down and become the guy that's known for those racing cars, well, you can do that also. But when you're first starting out, I would just recommend just flipping things, right? You're flipping this car, you're flipping that car, you're making a profit here and profit here. Eventually, you can start to upgrade your stuff. You get your little trailer, you get your little office space or whatever it is, and then slowly but surely start to grow and grow and grow. Now, this takes something called patience. How old are you?
19.
Yeah, so you're 19 and you're just trying to get things started very quickly, very fast. Just like I was when I was 19. The thing is, when you're 19 years old, it seems like you either feel like you're way behind or you feel like you're not doing enough. You're doing just fine, bro. You have a business in mind, you're flipping things, and you're trying to make this actually come into a business. So if you want to start an LLC, $300. You set up everything, right? And then
I
you
already
can
opened.
yeah, great. So you have everything you need currently. As you make more money, eventually you can buy your little the trailer to pull the cars or whatever, and then boom, you're good to go. But step by step, be patient. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Now, one big thing is, you're 19 years old. You're practicing this business now, right? I read some books, and there were some people just like you. You know, they used to flip cars to make some extra income, but while they were in college, trying to get, for example, the career. So, are you out there every single day trying to buy cars, or something like you can just kind of like do while you have a full-time job also?
Right now I'm doing like a full-time job and also like forex and stuff. So really
Yeah,
just
you're
need
doing too
to.
much, right? You're doing too much. So, first, here's what I would say, right?
Mhm.
What what part of my time can I what percentage of my time can I put somewhere that's going to give me, for example, the greatest benefit? That's going to be investing your time into a skill. Because if you're doing forex trading, you know that stuff is kind of weird, right? What are you doing with forex trading? How much money does it make you?
Forex right now I make like a good 500 a week off of it. I don't really do any big trades right now. I'm still learning as well.
Okay. How do you make the $500 a week? And what's the system that you run? Is it like they're trying to sell you a course, trying to teach you
No,
something? You add more
yeah, no,
people?
yeah, nah, I don't do none of that course stuff. Like, I never hopped in one of those groups. Like I already knew all like the schemes and stuff about the groups. I had a couple friends that were like deep into forex and like taught themselves how to do it, so they just taught me how to do it. So I never paid for anything. I just paid to fund my account.
Okay, so you make $2,000 a month consistently for how long? Have you been doing this?
Been doing it for about like half a year now.
So half a year,
So
6 months, $12,000. Where's that money?
that money goes into savings for this LLC. Right now, I'm at probably a good 20,000 of savings for the LLC.
You have $20,000 in cash right now. You're saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
not cash, but yeah, saved up
What do you mean not cash?
because it's in a bank. It's in a savings
Yeah.
account.
Yeah, but it's cash. It's liquid, right? So look,
Yeah,
you already have all the money you need to get started with whatever you want to get started. My thing is, if you want to do the forex trading, you know it's kind of like a full-time job, because if you're not actually working, you're not actually making money with that stuff. So it would probably use a 90-10 rule on that stuff. So basically, 90% of the money that you actually have, put it in something you actually understand. For example, like your actual business, and then the other 10% can be put into the forex trading, because it's a lot more hypothetical, right? Does that make sense?
so what about like, wouldn't I need to save some for, like emergencies and whatnot?
Okay. So you have $20,000 right now. Let's step back, right? We've handled the car thing, the debt thing, what to do, all that stuff. Let's take a step back here, right? You're 19 years old now. Where do you work?
Where do I work? I work at Walmart. I do overnight
Okay. So you have a job, full-time job at Walmart. How much does that pay you per month?
per month. That's like 2,000 a month.
Okay. And then you're telling me, right? I'm asking you a direct question here. You've been making
Mm.
$2,000 per month off forex trading consistently, or has it fluctuated?
It's fluctuated because 6 months ago, when I first started, I wasn't making exactly that much. I was
Okay.
just starting out, and so once I became more familiar with it, then I started becoming very good at it, and it's kind of
Okay.
I put myself at a solid number every week.
Okay. Then, so you have a full-time job, you do the forex trading, by the way, which I don't recommend at all. And then you have, for example, this business on the side, right? Who do you live with? Your parents or alone?
No, I live with my roommate.
Your roommate. So how much do you spend per month, like on rent?
Um, Rent right now is 16, split both ways, so 800.
That's ridiculous. Where do you live? Is where you live in Florida, right?
Yeah, Broward County.
That's really expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look, I'll probably move. So the first thing is, if I'm 19 years old, I'm trying to keep my cost of living to a minimum. You're spending literally $800 a month on rent, and you make $1,000 at your secure job. It makes no sense. That's 80% of your money being chucked out. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably go ahead. I'm just telling you what I would do in your situation, right? Because that's the only way I can give you advice. I would move out, go somewhere where I'm paying a lot less money. Now my expenses are a lot lower. The goal is to have your shelter expense be no more than 30% of your monthly income. So that means like you try to move somewhere else, you get a room, and then that way you're good to go. Nothing fancy, right? You have shelter, utilities, groceries, and transportation. You have a car loan right now on the current car you have, or you pay cash for it?
I paid cash for it.
Awesome. So that's awesome. How much money do you spend per month on food?
I really cook, so I just grocery shop.
Awesome.
I really I spend like $200 a month on groceries.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So look, the only thing that's eating up your whole pocket is basically like your shelter costs. I would probably move out instantly and go somewhere else and just basically spend a lot less money. No $800 stuff. And then my big question would be, as a 19-year-old, is do I want to do like the Walmart thing full time, or do I want to do, like, for example, if I'm working at Walmart, maybe I could drop down to part time by lowering my expenses, and then using the rest of my time to go, for example, to either get a license, a trade job, or go to college, or study something else, while I build my business up, for example, on the weekends, or with my extra time.
That's what I do the overnight for.
Yeah. So what do you do during the day?
I do Forex during the day, and I also do some side jobs because I already have my electrician certification. So
why don't you go exercise that?
Because I'm really trying to like. I'm not the type of person where I like to, work for other people. Like I've always wanted to work for myself. I've always had the business venture of just owning something for myself. It's a part of the
game, man. Stop. Don't say that. It's a part of the game. Working for somebody else is a part of the game. You gotta play that game first. So it means even for me initially when I went to college, and in your case you already have a certification in electricity, which can make you anywhere from 40 to 50K per year. The answer is, if you have that, just think about it for a second, right? If you work for somebody full time, you're already doing that at Walmart, and you're not getting paid anything. So what's the bad thing about going out there and getting a real type career job and being an electrician or whatever, making $40,000 to $50,000? That can save you a bunch more time. And the thing is, right, when you're doing this Forex trading thing, there's a difference between doing it for 6 months and doing it for 10 years and doing it for 20, 30 years. You can get lucky for 6 months or a year, but if you can't consistently bring in those profits, a lot of the times, because basically it's just a lot of luck playing into that whole game, right? So it means this. I wouldn't be doing that. That wouldn't be my main focus. Can you get a job like working, for example, for an electricity company right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then do that, bro. How much would they pay you?
Right now, from probably like $25 to $35
an hour.
Yeah.
And then you're working at Walmart in the nighttime for what?
$18.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it's also in the nighttime. It's ridiculous. So if you can get a full-time job during the day working this whole electricity thing, which basically raises your income by a lot, because if you're making, for example, $25 an hour, let's just do some quick math here, multiply by 40 hours a week, multiply by 4, that's $4,000 of the taxes. That might be, for example, like $3,200, $3,500 in your pocket. That means now you can either like live on your own, no roommates, or have a roommate, but a lot more cheaper, right? So now you have a lot more money to do what you actually want. So now I work this full-time job, I make a good amount of money, I also have a good career basically. With this extra money, I can use this $1,000 for my first month. I can go ahead and basically buy the stuff I need for my little car company I'm trying to start. I'm flipping things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do that. That's what I would do. But this perspective, the math is off here. The math to say I'm gonna spend my days working on this forex thing. Hopefully I get lucky. I'm gonna spend my nights working at Walmart for a fraction of the price I can actually be making right now as an electrician. Just makes no sense. As far as, for example, once you do start working as an electrician, what would I do with that money? I would follow the steps. First step is you get out of debt, right? Using the avalanche method after you save $1,000 for emergencies. In your case, you already have $20,000. I can tell by your attitude and talking to you, you're very frugal. And that's awesome, right? Because you've been able to save a lot of money. So that means, okay, I'll grab that $20,000. You have any debt right now whatsoever or no?
Not that I can think of, no.
Student loan debt, personal loan debt, car loan,
Nah.
anything? No,
No.
right? Credit card debt?
No, that was actually going to be my next question, was starting credit, because I don't have credit.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But if that's my case right there, well, it means the first step has been completed. Second step is basically I save a full 3 to 6 months worth of emergencies in case anything goes wrong. So I grab a portion of that $20,000 and I fund it into, for example, a separate savings account. For me, that might be SoFi Money or it might be Wealthfront. I send over there 3 to 6 months worth of my monthly expenses. Now that money is over there, right? Then my third step is I start investing into my retirement, right? So you start working for a company, they'll probably offer you, for example, like a 401k or whatever. You can put in there between 10 to 20% of your money into that retirement fund. The rest of the money can start going, for example, towards either savings for a home, but again, you're 19 years old, right?
Yeah.
So you don't really need to do that if you don't want to. Or you can just use some of that money for saving for a home when you're actually ready to buy a home, and also the rest of that money to go ahead and basically try to start off your business and so on. But I'd rather work for 40 hours a week because, again, remember, right? 24 times 5. You have 120 working hours. This company is just taking, for example, 40 hours. You still have 80 hours left over. You're sleeping some, of course. You're eating some, all the stuff, commuting, all the stuff. But at the end of the day, you still have a bunch of extra time to work on the things that you actually want to work on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, don't worry about this whole idea of like, I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I just rather work my whole life at doing. You don't got to do that, bro. You have a pretty good thing coming right now. You have a certificate. You can go get that job. You have a bunch of free time left over after you're done working to do whatever you actually want to do. And once your car business picks up, if it does pick up, guess what? You can go into that and just basically quit that job. But I would never be staying somewhere where I'm paying $800. I make $1,000 at Walmart, and then I also have to work like at nights at Walmart while I'm also trying to do forex trading, which is kind of like gambling in the morning. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. It's true.
Yeah. So it sounds like to me, man, if I'm being honest here, you have so much potential and so many good things going for you right now. The only thing stopping you is the idea that I don't really want to work for anybody. I'm my own boss, but you're working for Walmart. You can do both. There's always a way to do both. You can do electrician. You can use that income to fund your own stuff. Now, to answer your next question, which is Tommy, what about credit? Because I want to build credit. And by the way, I'm happy I caught you this early, man. Before you go ahead, you sound like me, man. Because I was at 19, I didn't have somebody like me, so I was doing it all, bro. A lot of stuff made no sense. But but basically, what they tell you is that you need credit. In reality, you don't need credit. The only time you're going to need credit is to buy a home, but even then, you don't need credit because what they do is something called manual underwriting. It means, for example, that the bank takes a look at your income and also your debt, and they basically create a profile on you saying like, hey, here's how much we can actually qualify you for. What credit does is basically makes it easier for them to qualify you without having to do a manual underwriting, right? Because it can just be automatically done. But manual underwriting requires, for example, a real person to actually do it. So in reality, you don't need credit for anything. If you're starting a business, you don't need credit either because you can just do it slowly and fund it, for example, with the extra money you have after doing everything for yourself from your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you do want to build credit without debt, just to make it easier to get, for example, a mortgage when the time comes. Then what you can do is the one bill method. That basically means you get 1 to 2 credit cards, secured credit cards, of course. That means, for example, because you're brand new to credit, you're gonna get either Capital One secured card or Discover secured card. Now, you put on those credit cards, for example, a small bill, whether it's Netflix, and on the other one, for example, iTunes, and you cut, for example, the credit cards in half, meaning you don't use them, set them to auto pay themselves in full, and you build credit like that without ever going into debt. That's the game. And 5 years from now, when you're ready to buy a home because you actually want to or whatever, and you have the money and you're good to go, you can have like a good credit score, which basically makes it a lot easier to qualify for a loan and just have a lot more options as far as whatever bank you actually want to go with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it did.
But don't rush into it, man. Don't rush into, I want to do this business. And you have a lot of ideas. Well, one thing entrepreneurs need is focus and also sacrifice. So it means I have this idea, I want to borrow money for this business. If it goes wrong, you're gonna be screwed over. And you've managed to save up so much money by now. Don't drain all of it and have to restart over. A lot of us, we self-sabotage to have to start over and over, and this is like the same cycle, which makes no sense. So just take it step by step. You got that full-time job, you quit Walmart, you consider quitting on Forex trading if you don't want to do that anymore, and you use the rest of your time towards working, for example, to make like your car company stuff that you actually want to do. And 3-5 years from now, you could have it where your car company, your flipping stuff, is making you, for example, more money than your main job, which allows you to basically say, oh, I'm gonna quit this job. Or option B is you quit Walmart, you quit Forex trading, and potentially you start working, for example, either at a dealership or for a mechanic or for somebody that's in the car industry. You work under them, you make money, but you also get to soak in all that knowledge. And all that knowledge, you use it towards building your business. That's also another option. But as long as your expenses are this high as they are right now, because you're paying like almost 80% of your money that you actually work for towards rent, it's going to be harder and harder to actually get it done.
Got it.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions, bro?
No, I think that was really it.
All right, bro. I just want to ask you, man, because a lot of times I don't want to make you feel like I'm crushing you or anything like that. You're 19 years old. What did you think about this call? Like, did you find it helpful? How do you feel right now?
It was something I needed. It was actually something I needed. Once I saw that you, provide the 30-minute free call thing in your bio,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm definitely taking this because I've been needing like some actual financial advisor help. I actually want to see what to do, and you actually told me what to do, gave me the right advice I need. So
yeah. By the way, how do you get that certificate / license that early? Because you're only 19 years old. How do you get it? How long did it take you?
Well, I was told you got to do like 4 years as a journeyman, as an apprentice to do it. So me and my high school best friend started off really early with his dad's electrical company, and then just started working throughout high school, and then graduated, got it, and that was really it.
That's crazy, man. Take advantage of it, man. You have a piece of paper / certificate that can make you 40 to 50K per year. 10 years of that's $500,000. And also a full-blown business. Sometimes simple works.
Sure.
And sometimes you might have a job where you might not be the most passionate about it, but look for the things in that job that you actually like, or have a reason why you do that job. So when I used to work at New York Sports Club, I at the actual office or whatever, I hated it so much. I couldn't stand that whole data entry nonsense. I felt like I could do it from home, but they wouldn't allow it. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I hate this stuff, But the way I got over it, and by the way, it was a lot worse than you because I had to commute for like 3 hours a day. It was like 1:30 to go and then 1:30 to come back because I didn't have a car. And how I got through was basically, I'm going to use all this money to fund my business. when I was trying to start the whole like accounting business on the side, trying to help like small business, all that stuff. That's the money that actually funded everything. No debt, nothing crazy going on. Just that money. So although I hated that job, I had a reason to do it, which was basically funding that business. And then once my business overtook that income, I quit very quickly, very fast. So take advantage of it.
That's something I need to do.
All right, brother. Well, by the way, Brandon, these are not like a one-time thing call. So if you do want to schedule another call for another time, feel free to do so. I'll be 100% happy to actually talk to you, man. And welcome to the long-term team, man. Remember, it's all about long-term. It's all about patience because you're going to be here for a long time. There's no sense in rushing things, okay?
All right, perfect. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, man. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
All right, peace out. All right, guys, so that right there was Brandon, man. This, and by the way, I was a little hard, you know, because when I was getting first started, guys, it was like I had all these same ideas. How do I borrow as much money as possible, OPM? And then you go on the internet and everyone's supporting those same ideas. They're telling you, yeah, such a good idea. Forex trading, such a good idea. And by the way, one thing about Forex trading is this. A lot of the times you have success in something for a while and now you think you're an expert and what you're doing is actually working. However, you can get lucky for a while. You don't know how this stuff works, right? You can get lucky for a while because you can't really predict those things. If it was like an exact science, anyone could do it and everyone could make money. It's like day trading. It's almost like gambling, honestly, right? A lot of people don't make actual money on that stuff. So when you think about this stuff, this kid is in a constant state of anxiety. You might not hear it in his voice, and I don't know how he managed to save so much money, but imagine yourself making $1,000 over at Walmart, but your rent is $800. You spend $200 on food. So right there, just from shelter and groceries, all your money that you work for over at Walmart is done. It is gone. So the rest of your money has to come some way, somehow, from either flipping, which might not really be that crazy depending on when you're actually trying to sell a car, or for example, from doing Forex trading, which is very close to gambling. So now you're just like, I need to make this money. And by the way, one good thing about people is basically, when you need to do something, usually you find a way to actually get it done. But in this case, I recommend, hey, slow down, take it step by step. It takes the average person like a 4-year, 2-year apprenticeship. This kid is 19 years old and already has that. I love that so much. Go get that job. Make that 50K per year, right? Screw Walmart, screw Forex trading, screw everything else. And now you can basically grab that money and start using it to be your own credit line for your entire business. That way you're not going into debt with anybody out there. That to me is amazing. The idea, I don't like working for anybody, but you're working for Walmart. You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. What you're afraid of is getting trapped somewhere for a very long time. But jobs are just jobs. If you want to quit, you can always quit and come back to it. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to join me on my next call, feel free to do so. The link is down below. All calls are free from Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. Eventually, we will be going live and taking live calls right away and kind of like doing like a whole show type thing. Okay, guys? I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, if you want to follow me on Instagram, follow me right here at Tommy Bryson. On top of also, click right here to destroy this video that I also made, which is actually pretty cool. On top of my face right here, as always, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified, and peace. Love you guys.